All right, so I got a rock down in there and got that bottom part pulled a little bit tighter. Like I said, not going to matter too much because of the big boards. And now we're going to add our concrete. Well, we are pretty much back where we started from. So now we can keep moving forward a little bit. All right, so I figure we go ahead and come back here and survey and get some more of the posts for bracing out of all these oak logs. Seeing what I've got here, it's oak. That's all sweet gums. I think this is all sweet gum and pine. Yes. Well, it looks like I'm not going to have quite as many braces as I thought, but I'm going to cut what I have, and then I'm going to have to split a couple of the cedar logs into rails. So let's see what I can get out of these. So I got all my fence stuff rounded up, and we had to cut this wire up here so we can go ahead and keep going. And before I put any more posts in or attached to that wire, the roll we were using came up just about 15-20 foot short of the last pole over here. I had that piece I'd taken up to the corner of the house, and it actually worked out where, because there's some extra up there, it's almost just perfect. Like I cut it to fit. It'll be about 1.5 feet, 2 foot too long. So the next thing I've got to do is splice this in, and I'm going to show you guys how you splice woven wire. And the first thing I've got to do is flip it so that my ends match there. I've got a mismatch, so we'll get this flipped and I'll show you guys how to splice a woven wire fence. All right, so you can see how this side is already done where I cut it. I always try and cut it right up next to the barb there where they spun it, where they wove it, hence the name woven wire fence. So now on this piece, I gotta get my good cutters here, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go right here and cut right next to the weave. What are you doing? Why are you being really? Okay, that's good, thank you. Nope. I'm good. Can you move out of the way? Cool. find something to chase. There you go. Go chase it, whatever it is. Copper. Okay, there now. So when you splice woven wire together, you want to do it as evenly as possible. And you can do that by taking the woven part right there, and you can see I've got the end on one side and the other. Now there are other pliers that you can use that are made for this, but for these long ones I like using the little vice grips because it fits in between most of the spaces. And before I tighten down the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and get a wrap. You can see I'm going to just work up, and I'm going to pull these and wrap these as tight as I can. These aren't very good vice grips. And by using the two knots right there and wrapping this tight, you can see it literally can't, these can't go through those loops, this can't go through these loops. So this is going to keep this nice and tight. And all we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down through here, put it together, and do the same thing over and over. Now this bottom, or this top strand right here is a little bit thicker than the bottom one. Once we get to this, it's going to be a lot easier. Seriously. Okay, so that's nice, tight, maybe not super pretty, but that is definitely going to do the job. It makes you appreciate how small farmers did and still have to do things. Even though I don't really necessarily make a profit, I still want one day for my homestead to, you know, pay for itself and provide me with more than it does now. Just got to get the infrastructure built. But yeah, the small farmers way back when, you know, as much time as it just took splicing that piece of wire back together, if you just go buy a new whole roll of wire, I think it's 160, well, I don't even know now, $165, $175 for 300 feet. you just start buying stuff new because it's a little bit easier and quicker, yeah, you're gonna go backwards on your money making potential real fast. So, whew, definitely gives you something to think about. All right, well, let's start getting this post in the ground and then getting hooked up to stretch from up there. All right, so this one did what I was supposed to do. I did not fall down, thankfully. Oh, now I just gotta rinse, wash, and repeat a lot of times. Oh, and one of the things I said, I didn't have enough oak. I think I'll almost have enough because this one's actually could be even smaller. But with these being pin oak and white oak, all the posts I have, I'll be able to use anything from like a 3-inch and up post. So they are strong as the dickens, and they'll work just fine for fence bracing. I'll use the thicker ones on the corner posts, and then all the other ones will just get the regular ones. Well, let's get started on this side. This one's completely on me. Well, I guess all of it is my project. I got busy daydreaming a little bit and just got in the groove. Didn't notice that crack till I pulled it. Well, I stapled on the other side, just didn't even pay attention to it. So it pulled back, and now I've got to address it. But luckily, I think I can get this fixed up with one of those modern technology things. It's nice but expensive, and that is some 4-inch deck screws. So I'm gonna put a couple screws in just here, and then I'm gonna put this big piece of rough cut poplar and screw the poplar there. And I think that should work. We'll find out. I don't feel like pulling it out and replacing it at this point. And I think as long as I make sure and start this board down here below this crack, should hold it pretty sturdy. It definitely would not hold together with just the screws. They would pull out. All right, I think that will get it. Of course, let it loosen up a little bit. But once the that red clay is still damp, once it dries, it'll set pretty good. And one of the reasons I know it's not usually like me to not fix something the right way, but I looked at the forecast for this weekend and tomorrow. Bet you'll never guess what it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be lots of rain. So I gotta get this fence finished. Making good progress though now, finally. They probably noticed this thing go forward a little bit, but I had pulled back on it harder than I probably should have. So I wanted to see if my idea would work. And it appears to be just fine. So, I mean, you can see the way this is tight woven wire fence, and my next hole's right back over there. So there'll be another brace going this way, which will help sturdy this post up. And the way I put this movement here this log should take care of that. I might go get another one and put right here, just so I have extra support coming this way. I don't know. Gotta beat the rain. But one thing I do have to go out to the store to get, actually just the Coopers, is I forgot to get T-post. I don't know what you call them. They're like hangers, or like strips that go around the T-post, around the wire, and that's going to let me get anything that isn't as tight as I want it. It'll tighten it up even more, because it'll be attached to that T-post, and it'll work. I'm not trying to keep buffalo out. I'm just trying to keep some 80-pound dogs in. So I think it'll be all right, especially when I put a live wire at the bottom. Let's move on to the next one. We've got a seeing a trend here. I tend to get ahead of myself just a little bit. I still gotta put this brace in, and I gotta go get more wire. But it's back over there. So, be back in a minute. All right, let's see what we can do now. All right, I've been going pretty much non-stop today since about 8, and I think I'm gonna take a quick break. It's I don't know, 5ish, I guess. But I need to run to the hardware store. Kind of underestimated my staple needs, so we're going to run to the hardware store real quick. Plus, I've got to take the tractor up there anyway, up here, because I need some more, another roll of wire. I got a big daddy roll now that should finish the rest of it out, and we're going to get really close tonight. Nothing else will be past the woods. So that'll help a lot. So if it does rain tomorrow, I can still work up where, cause this is going to get, I know, muddy, and I'm curious to see just how bad it gets. So, all right, let's head up to the shop and see about getting some more staples. Hard ground. Oh well, getting it done. I think we might have time to get this up. Maybe one more stake before tonight. We'll see what happens. Whew. And the fun part is that's a brand new roll of wire. That son of a gun's heavy. All right, everybody, well, that's about all I'm getting done for today. As you can see, I got all this pulled over back nice and tight. That one's tight again, and it's getting dark, but you can see that this bottom wire, it can go down a little bit now. But it's just part of running fence in the woods. Oh no, it's on the ground. But one of the reasons it's not pulling tight, I made this fence post puller the way I did for a reason, and I accidentally slipped and didn't get this one under, so it's not pulling straight. So I don't think it's supposed to start raining until a little bit later tomorrow, so I'm gonna come out here and try and get that piece of wire up under there and finish pulling it. And at this point, where we are right here, we go straight that way. And that's gonna be pretty much a straight run. There's gonna be this ditch here, so I'll probably put, if I can dig it, I'll probably put a pole here. You see I've got one marked in orange there. And then I'll just run it even back up to where it's even, and then use the T-post hopefully to pull it down to the ground enough. But I'm gonna have a live wire about 6 inches off the ground, so if they try and crawl under it, they can't just blast through it like they do now. They'll have that hard fence. So I'm gonna leave this up in the air and put a support under the bucket so it doesn't fall down. And a lot of that's just so the pressure is even on all these posts like they should be. And yeah, at least we made a little bit of progress. It's so dark back in these woods, but you can see I guess I put up somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 or so feet. Not too bad, because you know, having to cut braces and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, we've got it all the way up to the top up there and all around here. Really, the rain will hold off from me a little while tomorrow, and I can get these other fence posts in. That will be amazing. Then I can do T-posts and all that kind of stuff in the rain. And I still have, I say that, I still have to run up the center here from here so that I can keep the knuckleheads that don't get along real well separated. They get along, just sometimes they get, it's not worth the chance that they might get into a fight, because they have before, and I've worked with them and got them to where they're civil. But if I'm gone, you know, nobody's at home, you know, not really something I want to take a chance of. Well, I hope you enjoy this video. The train wreck continues, but at least there is progress being made. Make sure and like and subscribe and share. See, I can't even talk, I'm so tired right now. So that you can see the rest of it. I'll catch you guys next time.